Hello everyone, Shasto here. Recently, Halo Campaign Evolved came out, and I wanted to share my initial thoughts on it as someone who didn't necessarily grow up with Halo, as I first played Halo in 2021, and I embraced some of the aspects of the newer Halo games, such as Sprint, which is quite controversial among the Halo community from what I have seen. Do note this video will contain spoilers for Halo, so click away if you're wanting to do a blind playthrough. This will be your only warning. I had already viewed a bit of a live stream when deciding whether I wanted to purchase the game, but my initial impressions when watching that stream were that the graphics were impressive, albeit the screen shaking was a bit much. But you can easily turn it off when going into the accessibility settings. I do wish you could just turn it down instead of turning it off entirely. Also, I do worry about whether all computers will be able to handle it well, judging by how unoptimized games have gotten. But with an RTX 4070, I was able to run it for the most part just fine, just having to turn down the settings a bit. I also had to update my graphics drivers beforehand. Starting off with the intro, the characters look refreshed for the new graphics, you could say. Also, why the heck does Sergeant Johnson look like Steve Harvey? The grenade button is G and the melee button is F by default, which ironically is what I used to change it to in Master Chief Collection. The game gives you waypoints now immediately, which I'm not the most fond of, but that can also be disabled in the settings. Interestingly, the overshield no longer applies automatically, which is a change I like since I have more control over it. Also, when I was sprinting, I expected to be able to slide immediately, like in Halo Infinite, but quickly discovered the hard way that this was not the case. Guess Chief hasn't learned that yet. Would have been nice to have, but it's not a complete game breaker. The new Halo is very beautiful. Almost a shame that we will have to destroy this ring. After dealing with some Covenant, we get the Warthog. Unfortunately, you can't choose to have both aim and keyboard controls like in Halo Infinite, where you would aim in the direction you wanted to go with your mouse, and be able to use the keyboard controls to control left and right. Which is such a shame because that was literally perfect in my opinion. It feels like a complete oversight. Anyway, it's nice to have the waypoints immediately for rescuing the other lifeboats, as that was one of the main ways I would get lost in the MCC version. I also noticed a Needler reloads quickly if it's not empty, just like in Halo Infinite, which is nice. Another interesting quirk is a few days after recording my first session, when recording my second session, the Xbox achievements hadn't been given to me, but the Steam achievements had been, so they were given to me upon startup. I made fun of how the beaches looked when the first trailer for the game came out, but for a modernized experience, these fit pretty well, I'd say. I did drive off the cliff instead of entering the facility, so don't do that. Also, when getting to near where you acquire the control center coordinates, I saw 2 hunters that accidentally fell off a ledge and didn't have to deal with them, at least until I came back up. The snowy part of Halo looks really good, but will driving a Scorpion still feel good? And the answer seems to be a yes, as it still drives better than the Warthog in my opinion, as you can use the A and D buttons even in camera control mode. Damn it, now why couldn't they do this for the Warthog? Anyway, after fighting through swathes of enemies, we make it to the control room. Also, why did they make Cortana so big now? Well, at least she's happy with all the knowledge in the world she sees. Ah, the Flood. Perhaps the best reason to play Halo blind. I've seen a video of gamers playing and reacting to it blind, and it'll never cease to be magical to me. On this footage, you can see something moving and then disappearing, so they got that part correct. I like that it's darker than I remember it being in Anniversary graphics, which helps with the mood being right. The mood in terms of the lighting also seems right in the recording we pick up. And then, it hits. We see the Flood and have to fight them. Good thing I picked up a shotgun back at the flaming dropship. Also, can I just say, with the new graphics, the infestation looks a lot more disgusting. Makes me wonder what Jabu Jabu Belly will look like in the Ocarina of Time remake. Anyway, eventually we make our way to the surface after dealing with many flood and find soldiers waiting for us. Good thing there's an option to turn friendly fire off, otherwise I would have killed them all by now. And of course, 343 Guilty Spark has to show up, because why not? Anyway, I'll not be doing the rest of the game in this video, because I'm already so behind on releasing this, due to being unable to record at times. So we'll just stop it here and I'll summarize my thoughts. Overall, I'd say despite having made fun of the trailer for this game before, after playing this game, I think it is a mostly good modern take on Halo. I just wish the developers had optimized the game better, and the price tag is definitely not justified, given that there is no multiplayer, and MCC includes every single game for $40. But unfortunately, this looks like the future of game pricing. Overall, Master Chief Collection is better bang for your buck, and is just fine for playing, but this is better gameplay for those who prefer modern games and can afford the premium of playing modern games. I also found myself not using Sprint as much as I thought I would, as it seems the maps were mostly designed without Sprint in mind. I also wish they had taken more parts from Halo Infinite, such as being able to slide after crouching while sprinting, along with my biggest gripe, which is that the Warthog can't be controlled with both the movement keys and the mouse like in Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite had strong core gameplay even if it was lacking in other ways, such as updates in my opinion. Thanks so much for watching, and see you around! Make sure to subscribe for more gaming videos. Also, tell me if you want to see more game reviews like this. I am also planning to do more live streams here and on Twitch, so make sure to follow there as well if you want to see more from me.